Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Got to go outside and enjoy some sun. And caught the Celtics game. Fortunately, they lost to Giannis, but what else is new? We should have drafted him, but that's a different podcast altogether. I hope everyone caught who was able to catch the first episode of Just Being Honest. I hope it sparked some healthy debates. Um, I hope it maybe at least brought about some different perspectives of how to look at certain topics, rights and privileges, and gun control and abortion. Whether you're for it, against it, that's up to you to decide. You're entitled to your opinions and your beliefs. I'm not trying to persuade you, just maybe see things from a different angle and just bring up some discussions. Things to talk about, healthy discussions. Tonight's episode is called With Great Power Comes Great Responsibility. Now, I know that is a line from Spider-Man, but it couldn't be any more true for regular day people as it is for a superhero, particularly when it comes to elected officials. Whether you're a alderman, selectman, treasurer, district attorney, senator, congressman, Supreme Court judge, or president of the United States, you wield great power, and it comes with great responsibility. Unfortunately, many of our leaders today use their power for negative, for selfish reasons, for their political parties, for the lobbyists, everyone but for the people. I could pick so many different individuals for this on both sides of the aisle. But there's two in particular because what they're spewing, what they're trying to pass is just dangerous. It's just creating more division, more hatred, and it's scary times, like I said in the first episode, that we live in today. Those two people I really want to focus on are Governor Greg Abbott of Texas and Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. Two complete Trumpists, Tea Partiers, and hopefully they get voted out of office soon. We'll start with Texas. I mean, besides the just completely outlandish abortion bill that he passed, making it illegal for a woman to get an abortion or for a doctor to even perform one, which is making people have to go to other states. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's also passed many anti-transgender bills. Now, I know it's not really discussed in the news nowadays with inflation and January 6th that's still being investigated and Ukraine. But quite a few people of the transgender community have been beaten up and killed. Now, I'm not trying to be transphobic, disrespectful. I think that gender is based on science and facts, not feelings. But having said that, people still deserve to be respected, regardless if you don't agree with how they live or not. It doesn't mean they should be persecuted, feel ostracized, or have to look over their shoulder, worrying about whether or not this is going to be their last day on earth. Some of the stuff and the rhetoric that he is passing is dangerous. You're creating people to hate other individuals, and it's not right. You're a governor. You're supposed to be bringing people together. One of the other bills that he passed, he ordered secondary inspections of cargo trucks going to and from Mexico, carrying food, raw materials, car parts. Now, keep in mind, these trucks have already been inspected by U.S. Customs, so there's no need for a secondary inspection. And the secondary inspections that he can do is not the interior, is not the goods, it's tire pressure, it's engines. You're bottlenecking the entire supply chain, which is already backed up as it is for some of the issues that we have with China. So many companies have gone out of business, moved from Texas to states like Arizona. It is estimated that he has cost Texas $4.2 billion. That's billion with a B, dollars. Not millions, billions. And that is making our inflation go up even more. So I think some of you who have been pointing the finger at Biden, and yes, I am not crazy about Biden. He's a hell of a lot better than Trump. Just stop and think what some of these local and state politicians are doing, especially in the Republican Party. Another thing that he's done is that he's reallocating funds, about $500 million from other government agencies to fund border security. Now, granted, we have an immigration problem. We can't just let everyone in, but some of those immigration problems start here in the United States. We don't have a clear path to citizenship. Many of these people who come here aren't rapists and robbers like Trump said they are. Some of these people are skilled laborers, doctors, dentists, engineers, people who are more useful than some of our own citizens born here. They should be given us a clear path to citizenship and proven that they can be a productive, tax-paying citizen and given a fair chance so they're not drug mules or pimped out or killed by cartels. So I just don't get that. Instead of allocating the money to the proper agencies that it needs to go to, he's taking it just to work on border control, which just seems racist and xenophobic to me to a degree. He's taking $210 million from Health and Human Services departments, which could be used to help mentally ill people. He's taking another $160 million from public safety, which is something that we all can use, especially in the state of Texas. But, when you're just so focused on, go back to where you came from, or, building a wall and having Mexico pay for it, which was just a joke, but we won't go there. It's just dangerous. It's costing us money. It's costing the state of Texas money. And it's just irresponsible and wielding power again with no responsibility. Now, let me just get on this other governor, aka Douche Santis. Some of his rhetoric, his bills are passing, are so idiotic, so stupid. It's not even funny. In fact, it's sad. The fact that anyone still supports this man is ridiculous. One of the things that he has tried to pass is revoking the special tax privileges of Disney World. Now, keep in mind, there are a couple counties around Disney that they have an agreement with, they have bonds with. He signed a law which was, first of all, constitutionally illegal in the state of Florida and also in the United States. The government cannot get into an agreement with a company or anyone like that, then make a new bill to repeal the previous one. And if he was allowed to get away with that, property taxes would increase 25% for the people in those surrounding counties. Disney has a bond debt of $1 billion that is estimated to be paid off in 2029. All because of his Don't Say Gay bill, which the CEO of Disney is against, and I don't blame them for being against it. It is ridiculous. We went from the 80s of don't ask, don't tell, to now don't say. Like it's mysteriously going to go away. If you haven't realized that there are more and more people and more members of the LGBT community, they have the right to be represented and the right to be heard. Everyone has at least one family member that's gay. And if you're asking yourself, do I have any family members that are gay? You may be that family member. I'm just saying, just being honest. I mean, trying to, I understand maybe not talking about this stuff with little kids, but in these day and age, you have more and more kids going to school with someone that is non-binary, that may be open and out, or transgender. These are discussions that need to be held. Healthy discussions, not immature ones, not ridicule, not propaganda, but healthy debates so people have an understanding and can respect one another. Another thing that he's tried to do, which is just a joke, he has a woke act, which is anything but woke. It's against any school district teaching critical race theory. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't avoid critical race theory in the United States. Our foundation of our country was born on racism, sexism, xenophobia. I'm sorry, we've had slavery. Politicians thought, well, slavery is wrong, but segregation's okay, and Jim Crow laws. You banned women from voting. You freaking and put Japanese Americans in internment camps during World War II. The way the Muslims are treated, you think they're all radical Muslims terrorists, and it's not right. And even recently, with COVID, Trump said Kung flu and it was a Chinese problem. Many Asian people, who aren't even Chinese to begin with, were beaten up for no reason. How can you avoid talking about critical race theory? You're freaking just raising a future generation of homophobes, transphobes, and bigots. It's dangerous. We need to be talking about these things in order to avoid these conflicts that we're having internally in the United States. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Children need to realize that talking about race and addressing what's happened in the history of our country is right thing to do. We don't need racism. I can't believe we're in 2022 and we're still talking about voting rights for minorities. Between the gerrymandering and just like illegal anti-voting laws that the Republican Party tries to pass, it makes it damn near impossible for blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics to vote. It's just wrong. And DeSantis is one of the people that's trying to do that. Not only that, but he also, on his watch, many people died from COVID. He wanted to open things back up when things were still just going helter skelter in the state of Florida. I understand you don't have state tax really. You have to deal with a lot of your revenue comes from tourism, but don't put people's lives at risk so your freaking budgets can meet their agendas. It's just ridiculous. I mean, at what cost? You're the leader of a state. Don't think about your party. Don't think about your budgets. Think about the safety of your people. And he just doesn't seem to care at all. He says that before he's done in office, he wants to pass a bill where people can carry firearms without permits. We have a big enough gun issue it is now with people having to get permits. What is it, going back to the Wild Wild West? I mean, what is the point of that? There's no reason to carry in public, first of all, unless you're a peace officer, National Guard, a bodyguard maybe. But why do citizens and civilians need to carry? Well, I mean, we're living in an age now, right now, where people think they can deal with their problems just by shooting someone. And it's not right. It's dangerous. And you have your politicians trying to propose these laws. I mean, at what risk? Just to stir up your base? I'm sorry, your base doesn't speak for everyone. All these red MAGA hat wearing people who, if they put their brains together, wouldn't even have enough for a thought. I mean, that's not most of us. That's not most of America. I mean, we just need to realize what's going on today. I mean, it's dangerous, and I'm hoping people get the courage to go out and vote these people out of office. They don't deserve to be there. They don't deserve the job. I wouldn't let him freaking run a Chick-fil-A, let alone run the state. I mean, what are we doing here nowadays? Why are we letting these people represent us when they don't speak for us? We are a melting pot of a country. We deserve to have critical race theory. We should be embracing people who are transgender. Even if you don't agree with how they live, you still have to respect them. Going out and beating them up because, you think they'll rub off on you or trying to silence conversation because you think it's going to influence your children. No, it doesn't work like that. If you're so afraid of that, those are discussions that you need to have with your kids in private. Trying to stop school districts and even private businesses from teaching critical race theory by passing homophobic and transphobic laws? What is this? Are we living back in the 40s and 50s? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I just hope this is food for thought for people out there, where you're deciding or you're on the fence saying, who should I vote for? Or should I vote? Or what do I believe? Listen, I hope you're not watching Fox News. And I'm not saying that you should only watch CNN or MSNBC, but have a thought for yourself and see through the lies. It's dangerous. These people don't care about you. All these people waving these Trump flags and thinking about voting for DeSantis or Abbott, at the end of the day, they don't even give two shits about you. And it's time that you woke up and voted. Use your power. Let them know that the days of abusing power and following a man who's one of the most immoral people on the face of this earth is done. We need new representation. We need new leaders. McConnell, he's done. He's old. Even freaking Pelosi, I would say, vote her out. It's time for a change. We can't keep going down the same path and the same rhetoric and the same legislation. It's time for a change. We need new people in office who respect the power of the position and of the office and represent the people. Well, just being honest, hope this sparks another healthy debate for you guys, and love to hear your opinions. Have a good night.